Moore's life was one of great influence. After all that she has been through, she has taught me that no matter what wrong decisions I have made in my past or what I have been through, I can always make the right decisions to make my life better. Drew Barrymore overcame a rough childhood, suffering from drug and alcohol abuse and many other obstacles, to becoming a leading entrepreneur and working mother of 2 children. Drew Barrymore was born on February 22nd, 1975, in Culver Hills, California. She grew up on the west side of Hollywood and was born into an acting family, which put a lot of pressure on her as a child. In fact, my family watches It's a Wonderful Life every Christmas season, and her grandfather starred as Mr. Potter. Her parents got divorced when she was 9 years old. Many people remember Drew Barrymore as a young actress on television. Her early life was very successful. At just 11 months old, she starred in her first dog food commercial. She got the job when the dog bit her, and she merely laughed it off. When she was 7 years old, she starred as Gertie in E.T. the Extraterrestrial, directed by Steven Spielberg. E.T. the Extraterrestrial really skyrocketed her career. She then moved to Sherman Oaks, California. Because of this spotlight, Drew Barrymore never really got to experience being a kid. She had a pretty rough childhood in Hollywood. Her mother, Jade Barrymore, was known as a hippie, and she would begin taking her to nightclubs. By the time Drew Barrymore was 9, she was heavily involved with drugs and alcohol and became addicted, which led to depression. According to Caroline Leeper in her article in Australian Woman's Weekly, Barrymore states, "I was out of control due to working since I was 11 months old, and what that had done to my childhood, which made me grow up too fast." By the time Drew Barrymore was 12, she was admitted into rehab by her mother. She spent 18 months there. By the time she was 14, she tried to commit suicide, which put her back into rehab. By the time she was 15, she was emancipated from her parents and living on her own. She then moved back to Culver Hills, California. After finding her sobriety, Drew Barrymore wanted to set out on another great adventure, trying to find true love. Drew Barrymore was married 3 times. The first 2 marriages didn't last very long. In 1994, she married her first husband, Jeremy Thomas. He was a bar owner. After just a couple weeks, Drew Barrymore served him divorce papers. In 2001, she married her second husband, Tom Green. He was a Canadian comedian. He must have thought their marriage was a joke, because after 6 months, he served her divorce papers. In 2012, just 11 years after her prior marriage, she married Will Copeman, and they had 2 children together. Their first child was born in September of 2012. Her name was Olive. Their second child was born in April of 2014. His name was Frankie. Unfortunately, in 2016, Will and Drew got divorced. They are now living as co-parents to their children. After being divorced 3 times, Drew Barrymore finally realized that her real true loves are her 2 children. She is very hardworking and adores her children and wants to spend as much time as possible with her children. She knows that work suffers when she's with her children, but that her children suffer when she's at work. She would rather her work suffer than her children suffer, so she spends as much time as she can with them. According to an article by Julie Jordan in People magazine, Drew Barrymore admits, "My life is an abundance. It's perfect and totally imperfect. I'm so lucky." Since having her children, Drew Barrymore has starred in a Netflix series and served as an executive producer. She has a book called Wildflower that she wrote about herself as a memoir. Drew Barrymore considers her mother her best friend and says that she does not miss her partying lifestyle at all. In fact, she's actually glad that she got all of her wild years out of the way by the time she was only 14. Drew Barrymore's life made her into the woman she is today. Drew Barrymore overcame a rough childhood, suffering from drug and alcohol addiction and many other obstacles, to becoming a leading entrepreneur and working mother of 2 children. Drew Barrymore has a very positive outlook on life and is very thankful for the things that she has been through that have made her into the woman she is today, including her drug and alcohol addiction, her rehab, her suicide attempt, her 3 husbands, and her 2 children. Drew Barrymore's life shows that no matter what you have been through, you can always overcome it and rise above.